already rattled residents in Puerto Rico, jolted by another earthquake just a short time ago. It was a magnitude 5.9 quake that struck on the island's southern shore. It follows a series of aftershocks 4 days after that magnitude 6.4 hit in the same area. NBC's Nicole Acevedo is joining me now about this. Nicole, it's got to be pretty frightening for folks. What about damage? Do you have reports of extensive damage, or what do you know about it?
Yeah, so we have to remind ourselves that the damage that we're seeing in Puerto Rico right now, it's cumulative. People in Puerto Rico have been feeling tremblers since December 28th. The biggest one yet happened on Tuesday, which was the one that you mentioned, and it was the biggest earthquake the Puerto Rican people have seen in a century. So that caused many homes to collapse, hundreds of homes to collapse, schools, streets to just rupture, and the island has not stopped shaking. At least over 120 aftershocks have been reported, and just in the last 12 hours when people were sleeping, they were reported that aftershocks were happening every single hour until the newest one, the 5.9 earthquake that happened this morning. So we've seen videos of people near an outdoor shelter that had to run away from a landslide. We've seen more streets being ruptured. We're seeing historical buildings crumbling. So there's new damage, but there's also cumulative damage because the island has not stopped moving since.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Nicole, as we've been talking, we've been showing power lines, which brings this to mind. Certainly after the hurricane, it took Puerto Rico's main power plant a good year or so to get back fully online, and now it may have to go offline for further repairs. I mean, what can you tell us about the power situation now? How many don't have power on the island or may have to go without it going forward?
So the earthquake on Tuesday triggered a blackout, an island-wide blackout. That was mostly restored. However, the southern part of the island is so affected that the power plant there that contributes about a quarter of the power that the island needs, that one, it's gonna be shut down. So it's officials were saying that it would take a year to repair. So what they're doing is that they're essentially maxing out their other power plants in terms of capacity of producing energy. And officials are also asking for generators, emergency generators, to help basically make up for the loss.
Oof. Okay. Nicole Acevedo, thank you so much. Really sobering times there in Puerto Rico.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.